Hello, this is Denise from Minty Green Mama, and it has been a while since I did a video, so I just wanted to kind of do a short video about what I will be working with in November because I like to watch those kind of videos, so I thought I would do one as well. I have been kind of out of it for a while. October was a really busy month for me, so I did not get as much like personal inner work done as I had kind of hoped to, and I am trying not to schedule too much for myself for the month of November. I'm actually going to be taking a trip, so we're excited about that, and yeah, so a lot of what I'm going to be working on is books and reading books that I've kind of already started and trying to finish some things up. And I've been really like introspective lately, so I haven't been, I don't know, like breaking out of the box and trying new decks and stuff like that. So yeah, so the deck part is going to be kind of short actually for this coming up month of November. Now the ones that I like to try to work with when I can are, of course, my Dame Darcy Mermaid and Queen Alice Tarot. So I have those, and then Moonchild Tarot. I like to use those. I especially like to use the Moonchild Tarot for when I do readings with for other people, because it's just such a nice kind of, I don't want to say like neutral, but it's just very not a very triggering deck, so it's very easy to work with other people, and not, trigger like a lot of extra stuff, and be able to focus on the reading questions. So I like those. And then basically this is just, it seems ridiculously small for what I normally have, like a stack of decks that I like to work with, but basically for the last month of October and continuing into this month, the deck that I've been working with the most, and this has been really surprising to me, is it's the Legend, the Arthurian Tarot. Oops, I have some. Legend, the Arthurian Tarot by Anna Marie Ferguson. And this is like an older deck, but it's new to me. Like I just got it, I think last month. And I've been really into Arthurian legends lately, so I'm reading, Mists of Avalon, and reading a little bit, like I'm reading Ladies of the Lake right now as well. So I don't know, this one just speaks to me a lot, and I really like the artwork. Now, I didn't used to. I think I talked about this in another video, so I won't go into too much depth. But I don't know, there's something about, and the way that the book is written. It's just really nice. Let's do a couple more. So like, yeah, they have shields, cups, swords, and it's not wands, spears. So, and I like how they have like the little thing, a little like, I don't know what that would be called, but like this little like key here where it has like, so this would be the eight of shields, and this little thing here has 8 shields, but it also has it written at the top, and then at the bottom is the name. So this one is Wayland, so this kind of refers to the legend or part of the Arthurian legend, like a specific story in the legends that this card deals with. And so it's interesting because like the other day, let's see if I can find it, I pulled the Seven of Swords, and when I think of the Seven of Swords, I think of here we go, of like thievery and like trickery and that kind of thing. And I have been reading the book for every card I pull because I like to read the legend behind it if I haven't read that one before, instead of just reading through the book sequentially. I just read it along with the cards I pull. But the Seven of Swords in this deck is actually the sword and the stone, so it's not what I think of as a typical like Seven of Swords type card. So I've just been really getting to know this deck, and it has its differences from other like standard like Rider-Waite Smith based like decks, and I don't know, there's something about it, and I love it. And almost any given day, if I'm going to pull a deck to do a personal reading, this is the one that I pull. So, and then, like I said, the book is amazing. It's called Keeper of Words. I got it in a kit, that had both of them. But it has, like every page, it has a meaning, a reverse meaning if you use reverse meanings, and then a little bit about the legend that's associated with that particular card. And every single card has a painting, and it has a legend associated with it. And you get more information on the majors than you do on the minors, but still, I feel like it's just really interesting. It gives it like a whole new depth, which I really like. So that has been my go-to deck for October, and it's continuing on into November. That's just my favorite deck right now. I just cannot put it down, and I did not expect to like it that much, especially because the swords, the elemental associations between the swords and the spears, or wands are reversed. So swords are fire and spears are air, which is different than I normally think about things, but I still like it. So then, let's see. I have been working with, I've mostly just been reading about Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea. I kind of have them like all, I've gone through them and kind of sorted them in like the way that I've been studying them, but it's a really interesting deck. I have big borders, but the pictures are like really surreal. That's the King of Swords, and each of the cards has a really interesting, and these are the backs, which I really like, the Tree of Life. And so it's just, I've been studying this because I have, let me see if I can find, this book. Okay, so I have her, it's by Julia A. Turk, and I have her guidebook that goes with the cards, Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea, and it has, all the cards. It has a little bit of information for the minors and the courts, and then it has a lot more information for, like, say, the majors. It has several, pages, which I haven't even gotten to yet because I'm the way I'm doing it is I actually have her series of 3 novels that go with her deck of cards, which are like weird and surreal and just, it's just kind of like out there, it's like a dream sequence, so it's just kind of really weird. I mean, that's how it reads. It reads as if it's like a dream sequence, the whole thing. So I'm not very far into the first book, but the first one is all about the minors, and then the second one's the courts, and then the third one is all the majors. And the main character of the novels kind of goes through and meets the scene out of each of the cards. And so as I'm reading the book, I am going through and then finding the cards in the deck and then reading the meanings in the thing. So it's been like just like a study exercise for me. So it hasn't been, that I'm not using these yet for readings. I'm just kind of using these to kind of study and contemplate with these, and more like meditation work like that. So I don't know, it's been a really weird thing, and I've grown really quite fond of these cards, which at first, like, I think I showed a couple of these already, but like at first I was just like, whoa, that's just so weird. Like the images, like I don't know what they mean, I don't know, it was just I don't know, it was just hard to connect with. But then once I started reading the book and kind of reading the story about the different characters and everything, it's just been really I don't know, it's been like a whole process of bonding with this deck, so it's been really fun. So that is kind of a big process, and it's been taking up some of my time, although it's fun. I gotta say, I specifically put fiction books into my my list of what I'm trying to get accomplished or study or do this month, because I was trying to have too many, I had too many nonfiction, and it was kind of like overload of information. And so by including some fiction into my stack of things I'm doing, like it just kind of breaks it up. So the fiction, the what is it called? Riverlog is the first novel for the Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea, and it's kind of fun. It's interesting. It's a weird out there book, but I like it. I don't know how else to describe it. So that's been really fun and interesting. And so just a couple more, actually just a couple more decks, literally 2 more. So I purchased the Thoth Tarot again. I had it and I never used it, and I just didn't have time to really study it the way I had wanted to, and so I gave it away. And the other day I was like, did I give that away? Because I'd kind of like to get it out again, and I had, so I purchased this one again because I think it's that time that I'm actually going to sit down and start reading some books about it and really delving into it a little bit more, because I feel like this one's one that has to be studied. This just wasn't one that I felt like I wanted to just use intuitively, so I wanted to study it, and I'm going to try to put aside some time to do that. Maybe not this month exactly, but I'm going to kind of start planning that out. But it's just, I don't know, it's gorgeous, and I love the colors, and I just don't know how to words are failing me today. It's just, there's something about this that I just never, like I tried to read the books and I tried to study it, and I was like, I'm just not even going to, I don't know. It just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time for me. And now I think it is. So now I think it's the time for me to study these cards. So that is kind of loosely in the plan for November. Like I said, I'm going to be traveling a bit, so I am not going to be taking a lot of cards with me, just like a few favorite decks. Let's put these away. And then, so this is the last one. I'm going to be, I purchased the book, The Playing Card Oracles by Anna Cortez, and the little deck. And so that's something I've always wanted to do, is study playing card divination. And this is a really cool deck, and it's been around for a while. So I mean, I just hadn't found out about it till recently. But I like how like each card has a, like, here are the backs. So they're super cute. They're like playing card, size, but each of the cards has a little picture on it. So I thought, if I'm going to do playing card divination, I might want to start with this one. And it has a nice book that goes with it, so I love that. And so I just thought it was super cute, and I have no idea how to do playing card divination right now, but I'm really excited to kind of learn about it, because I just thought it would be fun to be able, like, no matter where I am, well, I always have a tarot deck no matter where I am, because I carry one with me, but if I just had like playing cards, I just like the idea of being able to do a reading with the playing cards. So that is on the list of things to do. And the book seems like really thorough. It's, let's see, it's about 250 pages. So I thought, hey, that would be a good, and the deck is small, so that'd be easy to carry with me if I'm traveling. So I thought that might be a good thing to do for this month. And then books. So I have a few books that I'm trying to read. One is The Keys to the Temple, which is about Deanne Fortune's, it says unlocking Deanne Fortune's mystical Kabbalah through her occult novels. So, Deanne Fortune was a occult writer, but she also had novels, not just her nonfiction works. And so I saw, this book. I think it's a fairly new book, and it's written by Penny Billington and Ian Reese. And it basically kind of walks you through, not all of her novels, but I think there's 4, and shows how they kind of unlock the secret to her view of the Kabbalah. So I'm trying to see. So the novels it talks about are The Goatfoot God, The Sea Priestess, The Winged Bull, and Moon Magic. And I have already read The Sea Priestess, which I really liked. So I thought this might be fun, and then I can kind of read the novels as I go along. So I don't know. Just sounds I just like the idea that like encoded in a book somewhere is like a secret key to something. It's very like Da Vinci Code. I don't know. It's very fun. So I thought that sounds really fun. It says that this book shows how to work with her most popular creations, exploring how the stories and characters can help you integrate the secrets of the Tree of Life and discover what fortune calls the key to the temple. So very cool. Very cool that. And then, so kind of going along with that. So just, I'd like to work with, you know, a lot of things and read a lot of books, but like realistically, I know that that's not going to happen this month. So just a few other ones. I've got the book Tarot Journaling, and I'm planning on really kind of working more in my tarot journal. I have been working with my journal almost every day, but I feel like it's basically just daily draws and stuff like that. So I thought this might give me some new ideas to kind of mix it up and do some fun things with my journal. So, oh, that one's by Corinne Kimmer, I believe. Yes. Which I'm a fan of. I have several of her books, which I really like. So I was happy to find that one. I'm also reading High Magic by Damien Eccles, and I don't know how I missed this guy's books because it's an amazing story. I'm sure like everyone else, I don't know how, I feel like I was like living under a rock somewhere, but basically he was part of the what they call the West Memphis Three, I want to say, and yeah, and he was wrongfully convicted of murder. I want to say that I don't exactly know what it was, what he was convicted of, but I believe, but anyway, he was on death row, and for a wrongful conviction. And so this is basically, it says, a guide to the spiritual practices that saved my life on death row. And I thought that sounded so amazing. And this just came out, and I was lucky enough to kind of have it pop up for me on Amazon, and I was like, yes, please, I will love to read this book. So I got that, and each chapter basically so far, and I'm only a few chapters in, has like you do an exercise for about a week. You know, like the first week was reframing the way you think about things in your head, and the second, and so it's just very practical. And then the second week been like little meditations, sensory meditations. So it's kind of just something that you have to, you can't just sit down and read it. It's you know, you work through it, but it makes me want to go out and read his autobiography, which I think I might do because it sounds like an interesting story. So then Tarot and the Tree of Life is my next book by Isabel Radow Kliegman? I'm not sure. But anyway, this one is basically, it says finding everyday wisdom in the minor arcana. So it's basically just going through just the minor arcana and using the Kabbalah and the Tree of Life to kind of, I mean, basically it has meanings for all the cards, but through that lens of the Tree of Life. So it's a really interesting book. The introduction and like the background information was really, really wonderful. And now, you know, I'm into kind of just the reading about, you know, each of the cards. And it gives a lot of like ideas that I hadn't, like a lot of new insights to the cards that I hadn't thought of before. So this one's been really interesting, and I'm still working through that. I tend to read books like I'm watching TV. So like I'll read for a little bit and then I'll change the channel and read another book for a little bit. And so I usually have like a collection of books that I'm reading through at any given time. It's not as efficient as just reading a book all the way through, but unless it's a fiction book, I generally read it a little bit at a time. And unless, I don't know, there's some exceptions, but that's just basically how I do it. And then, so this is one of the last ones, and this is Diet for Divine Connection. I have been, like, I used to eat raw food, and I felt fantastic, and then, you know, things get away from you, things are delicious, and so I just thought, this is interesting because it's not specifically about like tarot or anything, but I feel like that when you detox, like you do kind of reach like a whole nother level of being able to tap into your intuition. Like you can tap into your intuition if you're not necessarily taking care of your body and your eating like clean foods and stuff like that. But I feel like it would be so much better. And I felt like when I was eating raw food and stuff like that, I really felt like I was like vibrating at a higher level. Like I really, really felt that way. So I thought this one sounded really interesting. And it's beyond junk food and junk thoughts to at-will spiritual connections. So I thought, hey, I'm going to go ahead and read that and just hopefully that will inspire me during the holiday season to kind of make some better choices. Because I think that the motivation of, yeah, but my intuition is going to be so much clearer is just a really good motivation to have, because it's not like a fear-based motivation, kind of thing. It's just like a benefit that you're trying to get. So I thought that one would be fun. And last couple of ones. So I found Ryan Bates' book, The Way of Weird. I think it's how you pronounce it. I do not know. Pardon me if I say that wrong, but it is a fictional story. It says the classic reconstruction of pre-Christian Europe tells the exciting story of a young Christian missionary guided on his journey by a Saxon shaman. Based on actual documents from the British Museum, this compelling tale reveals an ancient, powerful way of living in touch with nature and the spiritual dimension. And it sounds amazing, and I love like fiction. I like historical fiction, especially like Miss of Babylon, that has like a spiritual dimension to it. Like it's fascinating, it's interesting, you can read it pretty quickly, but it also, I feel like it's adds something, to you, like you get a benefit from reading the book. So I'm excited about that one as well. And I already have so many. I found another deck that I had set up here. Oh my goodness. So, okay. So, the Runic Book of Days. I just actually found, says a guide to living the annual cycle of rune magic. And I've been trying to be more mindful of like the wheel of the year and the seasons, and, living more seasonally and stuff like that. And I thought that this is just like a really short book, and it has, it says the old Norse runes have long joined forces with the cycles of the seasons to offer powerful initiations, guidance and wisdom, aligning the sacred festivals, plantations, and harvests of ancient runic calendars with our modern 12-month calendar. Kelly Harrell, who's the author, reveals how the runes can once again offer initiations as well as instruct us on the holy days and creative rhythms of today. So it sounds really interesting, and I'm hoping that it helps me to just another layer of like inspiring me to live seasonally, and like, really, because I feel like the more mindful you are of the turn of the year, the changing of the seasons, and if you can be present in each of those seasons, like it won't fly by. Like it just feels like time goes by so fast, but you can be present and appreciate it. Not only do you cultivate those memories, but then you also, I feel like the more present that I can be, like the less I seem to lose time, instead of being like, where did October go? I can say, yeah, it went by really fast, but it was an amazing month, and this is all the stuff that we did, and all that kind of stuff. So who knows? Still working on that. So then I don't know that I'll get to this, but this is the Reincarnation cards, Awakening Far Memory by, I'm going to say, I thought there was 2 authors, but now I don't see their names. Here we go. John Knowles and Linda LeBlanc. So it has like a little hardback book in here, which looks really interesting. And it just kind of goes over some like different evidence for reincarnation and a little bit about each of the cards. I believe there are 61 cards, and it's kind of a different deck. So it's not like just a regular Oracle deck, but they're like different backs have different things on them. So I think some of them are like time periods, and some of them are just like feelings or, you know, environments. Some of them are like means of death. So I thought, I don't know, it sounds interesting, but I have to kind of read the book to figure out, you know, how to use them. You can't just, you know, shuffle them up, and I guess you could just shuffle them and pull one card from each of the sections, but the artwork is really pretty. I don't know, some of it's kind of grim, but like I said in my last video, I'm really working on that, like not being not glossing over death and stuff. Oh, I like the fact that it has an alien card in here. That's just kind of like my thing. So the artwork is, you know, pretty, and I think that put together you could get a really meaningful reincarnation reading. I do believe in reincarnation. I'm not sure if I believe everything that the authors believe because I haven't read the book yet, but so these are like places. So we had Central America and Central Asia, Tibet, China, Japan. So I don't know. I am not 100% sure that if I did a reincarnation reading with these cards that I would believe what they said, but I'd have to try it out and kind of see how that would go. So that's kind of just for fun that I may or may not get to, and I still have more things, but I think that that's got to be it, you know, because I'm really working on scaling back, and I thought I had done so well. I'm like, oh, I only have like 2 or 3 decks that I'm going to try to work with this month, and now, and I have all these books I'm going to read. I don't know. I think I kind of overschedule myself sometimes, because November, you know, is going to be a very busy month for me. I know it's busy for a lot of people, so we'll have to kind of see. And but I've been doing really good on not buying a lot of decks, so I'm super excited about that. And that's been going really well because I feel like I've been really able to focus and connect with some of the decks that I have, like the Navigators Tarot of the Mystic Sea and Legend the Arthurian Tarot. And, you know, not that I'm going to stop buying decks completely, but I've been really happy with, you know, with how I've been spending my time and my money since I've stopped buying so many decks. So hopefully I will get through a few of those. Such a big pile of books, but hopefully I'll get through a few of those in November, and then I'll be able to pick up some new ones for December. So we'll see how it goes. All right, well, have a wonderful weekend, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.